let me just pull this up so we can see here. I'm short 20 contracts, so I shorted, we can see here, and I shorted 10 there, and I shorted another 10 just here. So we'll see what happens to these. So we can see here I had a very clear T2. I then had a T1 signal. Now the only challenge is that we're right up against the pivot. So let's see how we travel. I'll put this these trades on hold. Pretty certain I'll deliver. We've had a lot of downward pressure. We can see here we had a triple top. Then we had a T11. Now a T11 is where we have a lower high. That was then, after I'd shorted that on this T2, that was then confirmed by a T1 to the short side. So I'll put this on hold and let's wait for this to deliver. Okay, come on through. So I'm just waiting for this delivery. I'll go back on hold. I thought it was going to punch through. Here we go. We got touched then. So I had a number of my contracts filled. Let's wait for this to punch through. So it's bouncing back up. Come on, baby, come on down. This is the life of a trader. You're waiting for these sorts of trades to deliver. So we'll just hold on. And there's basically, what is it, about $850 of gross profit in these. So we want these to deliver. Now I got filled there on 4 out of 10, so I've still got 6 to be filled just at this level, let alone the ones at these lower. So I'm going to go back on hold again and we'll just wait for it to deliver. I'm pretty certain I'm on a winner here. Put that in there. But so what we've done, sorry about that sound. I'm watching a video on trading as well at the same time, and we can see we've been delivered here on the full first 10 contracts. We're now just waiting for the final delivery of the second 10, which is $441. Once that delivers, less some brokerage. So we'll just go back on hold and we'll wait. So once again we had a lower high, which is a T11 setup, a T1, T2. So we've got all the signals. The only thing, once again, we're right on the 200 support. I think we're about to punch through. Let's all please keep your fingers crossed for me. No, I'm only joking. It's going to deliver. Got to be careful how I say that. It's not good for new traders to hear me talk like this. Let's just wait. We are live. Come on down. No, I'll put you on pause because this market can move very, very slowly at times. We can go sideways for sometimes 30 minutes to an hour. Fairly typical. It's very, very different than, say, trading the NQ or trading, say, the YM. Once again, every market has its own personality. Forex is very, very different to the futures markets. One big thing over the Forex, you can see here, this has been going now for a good, well, actually it's not too bad, an hour, is that with the Forex market you tend to have much better trends than what you do generally on the futures market.
Order filled.
Here we go, we've just been filled, so we're out, all contracts were filled. That was 2 trades. So just a quick recap. See, we had a nice triple top, showed a lot of resistance, even though I had a support level here, the pivot. We had a triple top. I didn't do anything here. I waited for us to come down here, where I then had a T2 followed by a T1. So hence I went in there with 2 lots of contracts. So hopefully this trade was useful, and what I'll do is just put this, and let's see if we have anything else. I'll just put this on hold and see if we have any other trades that may pop up in the next half an hour. But where I am in my part of the world, it's 7:14 p.m. so it's been a very busy day, so I probably won't hang around too much longer, but we'll just see what happens. I just went to short another 10 contracts here. I'm not going to chase this because we've had a fairly, we've dropped 3 ticks, which I'm comfortable at. This basically is a T2, so we can see I've gone for a T2. Here's my order. Oops, and look at a drop. I'm going to cancel this order, and the reason I cancelled it was it dropped that quickly. So in this particular market, when I get 3 points like this on the FESX, so I'm on the 500 volume or 500 share bar, it may continue down, but it meant my stop was going to have to be 4 or 5 points up here. I'm happy with 4, but I usually like to be 2 points above, or 2 ticks, however you want to talk about or refer to it in this particular market. So I decided to give it a miss. So let's just see. We'll just sit back and see what happens. It might deliver. I hope for my other traders it does, because it qualifies in each way. Another little thing that made me a little nervous was I got a lower price here, but on my platinum's rising. So we'll just see what happens. We might come back to this. Yes, and look what's happening. Down it goes. So it would have delivered the 4 points. So if we had have taken this as a standard T2, we can see here that the zero leg agrees with it. It's rolled over here nicely, and it would have delivered 4. I'd like to see a tick down one more. You may not have got totally filled. For me, I decided that I didn't want to put a 5-point stop in here. So for the traders that did take this as a T2, some of my experienced traders would be in this, but would have been filled by now. So another successful T2. So you had one here. Now what about I had an email before and somebody just said, oh, what about this one over here? Well, see how I've had this T1 plot, a counter trend T1. This is actually, we call this a T89 setup for a counter trend trade to take this to the short side. That's why I personally didn't take that particular trade there, was because of this T89. So traders, we can see we shorted 10 contracts here. I had my stop 1 tick up above the pivot we can see here. So we're short, let me get this right, short 10 contracts here. We can see here the zero leg agreed at the time. It was a T2. I also shorted another 10 contracts here with a T1 using the 200 MA and the 89 as resistance. So we're just waiting for it to drop down here. My target is down here, so this is for $993. So we've still got 4 ticks to drop, and I'll come back to this trade. We may hover around a little bit, but we've also just had a signal on the 750 FESX as well, a trade in our direction. So we can see we've got taking a bit of heat, but we'll come back to this. So traders, as we say, sometimes trading is a little bit like watching paint dry, particularly oil paint dry. So we can see we're slowly edging down, and that's one thing about the FESX, the European market. It can be very slow at times. So we can see we've still got 2 more ticks to go. We're just slowly ticking down. Very confident we're going to hit it. I should say. The 89's heading down. The 200's rolled over. So I will come back. We can also see our long-term stochastic is also rolled over, and our platinum's below 0. So we'll just come on back as soon as we get some more movement. Traders, one thing I hadn't done, I hadn't adjusted my stop. We were way up there. We're about 6 or 7 ticks up here above. So I only want to be 1 tick above the pivot, which is what I am just here. So I've readjusted that. So that's the other thing too, is making sure that you've got, of course, a trade checklist. And once again, as I say in all of my videos, be very, very careful when you're talking to people, watching TV, reading books or whatever. Make sure that you check everything off just like a pilot would. So I'll put this on hold. I just thought it was important that I pointed out a little mistake that I almost made. My stop was too high and I had to adjust that. We're getting closer. We can see ourselves ticking down. Now I should point out that the rules that I've got here, they're 95% mechanical in nature. So everything, all these trades I've been pointing out tonight are all totally rules based. So we can see here we're about to hit our target. Once again, don't want to curse it by saying we're about to hit it when we haven't hit it yet, but we're only 1 point away now. Whoops, just ticked up. See what I mean about talking too quickly? But we'll come down and we'll hit it, because we've also got right here is a T10 setup. That is where our long-term stochastic is rolled over, the short-term has come up and rolled over as well. We're below 0 on our platinum. Once again, these rules are mechanical. So all of these trades are mechanical in nature. We can see we've got our long-term, our 200 is rolled over, our 89's rolled over. So we'll just wait for it to tick through. Come on, I've got 20 contracts down here, so that's $993 less a bit of brokerage. Come on down. So there's quite a few sellers in the market there. There's a few buyers, so I might just put this on hold, because once again with this European market, it can sometimes stick around for ages before you get some movement.
Order filled.
So there we go. So we can see we've been filled on all 20 contracts. So traders, as you know, my target is around $200 a day per contract. You saw that I popped off 4 live trades for 4 winners this morning on the NQ. So if you go and have a look at the videos, and we just popped off another 4 trades, even though just looking here 3,854 for this morning, this afternoon, less a bit of brokerage, so not a bad day. So once again, these trades are very mechanical in nature. Once you learn the setups, you know, you'll get these sort of results. So look forward to catching up tomorrow, probably with another trade setup.